Haru and Yuki, Yuki Haru, Haru and Yuki, Yuki Haru.
The Ox and Rat Podcast, also known as Oars.
What is good, people? Satsuki the Savage here, joined with my co-host Perry. Perry, you want to say something to the people?
Hey, I just want to know my name for this week is the Bordeaux Banker. As you can tell by my Abby, I'm about that wine now. Wine and money. Let's get it.
This is the Ox and Rat Podcast. We are doing episode 10 of Fruits Basket, the final. For some reason, people thought this was the final episode because Gurren Edits came in and said final episode. I thought 13 episodes. No, the only thing I could think of is maybe he confused the title of Fruits Basket for the final episode. It's not Fruits Basket, the final episode. It's Fruits Basket, the final. That's the name of the season. That's what I think he got around, and that's why he thought it was the final episode because of the title of the video. But
okay, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, not the final episode. We still have 3 more episodes left, and that will conclude the series. But yeah, you could definitely start to see us getting to the end game of the series, because I actually felt like this. Like last episode, I didn't feel it, but this episode, I felt there was cut content, and I don't know that for sure. But did you get the same feeling as me?
Kind of, sort of as well, because like it's the whole like how this like episode played out. I feel like a little too fast for Fruit Basket. If you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I felt like we would have got like a lot more build up to these kind of like moments. Like we were just like, okay, this perspective, okay, this perspective, okay, Utani and Hana. It was just like it just kept on switching.
Yeah, and that's the hospital is the reason why I feel like there was cut content, because in Utani and Hana's dialogue, we learned that they talked to Toru. We didn't see it, but they talked to Toru, which I guess that's fine for them to skip over that, but it's still, it was weird to me, because you would think because of their Hana and Utani's connection to Toru, that would have been a very emotional moment for those two to learn how Toru got hospitalized. So I found that odd. I don't know if that was also skipped in the manga, but again, I'm just going over things that I felt probably were cut. And then we saw that Akito was coming out of, it looked to be Toru's room, so we know that Akito has been visiting Toru, like that kind of stuff. That I think was probably skipped in the manga as well. But yeah, Toru has been getting visitors, but we haven't seen it, and we learned that it's been days after she's been hospitalized. So I feel like in between that time is where we got a lot of the cut content. But I'm just going over this as a anime only. I don't know for sure. I'm sure my friend Francesca will tell me about exactly what they cut out when the series ends, but that's just what I feel.
Yeah, really. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I really wanted to see like kind of like there are people reaction to news of Toru like accident, especially like Utani and Hana, like how they would have took it, like immediately. Like I kind of wanted, I thought it would be like a scene where it was like in like, you know, we got the flashback of Toru getting called that her mom died. I thought something like that, where like they did it in class and they find out and they just run.
Yeah.
But the episode kind of felt weird because it felt like they didn't know it happened, and then like it was like their first time visiting Toru. You know what I mean? It felt weird because like they pulled up on Yuki, like, hey yo, where Toru at?
Yeah, it was odd to say the least, but I don't think it ruined the flow of the episode, because it feels like what they're doing is trimming out what they believe to be fat, and I hate to say it's fat because these are meaningful interactions that I would like to see, so I don't think it's fat. But if they want to just adapt the main story without branching off to moments like that, I get it. We're constrained for time, so that's just how it is. I don't think it's going to diminish this season overall. I still think it's great, but it's sort of noticeable. So I guess that's it for that. So I want to go to this first. I want to kind of get it out of the way. What are all your thoughts, everything you feel about the relationship between Utani and Kureno? Everything.
Okay, so I feel like I'm like the minority from like from you and Rex because I really like okay so like the age thing I don't really care about, but I care more about like the way they bounce off each other and stuff like that, and I like how this episode kind of like delves into like how Utani sees the relationship and how Karina sees the relationship a lot more because even because like it feels like they both like need each other and I feel like they're like things that they didn't like. It feels like both characters are like things that the other one didn't know they needed until they actually had it. Because I feel like Utani never had like a love interest or somebody she actually like really like messed with or interacted with like a potential boyfriend figure until she met Kureno. And I feel like for Kureno, his character, it felt like he was kind of like shackled down by Akito, and he didn't have a life but outside of that. And it's kind of like they're both like the kind of perfect match for each other in a sense.
See, yeah, the thing about it is, it's one of those things where it's regrettable for me that the age gap between them because
Mhm.
yeah, like you said, there's good things that comes with this relationship, but it's hard to appreciate that when like that glaring issue is there. And it's not an issue to where like I don't take it to where our friend Rex takes it to where he's calling it a pedo relationship because that's not the literal definition of it, but you know, because it's dealing with, of course, Utani is still in high school, so I'm still not condoning this relationship really, but it's one of those things where I'll look past it. It doesn't really bother me as much as it would bother other people, but I think the one saving grace of it is the fact that Utani is a lot more mature than what you believe to be a typical high schooler. So like at least that's working in their favor. But again, it's hard to root for this relationship when that problem exists. I feel like it could have been something that's could have been avoided if either they did this with other characters, which I think it would have been possible. Now, I'm not saying that like Utani, I'm not saying they could have did it with anybody. Like anybody, you would have had to create a lot of different relationships within a new character if you were to go that route. I'm not saying that you could have just did any background character and had the same tie to Kureno the way Utani does. That's not what I'm saying, but I feel like with enough writing, they could have made it in a way to where it's not like it's not like creepy because it's still like bro, this dude's 26. Oh, so it's hard to ignore, but I guess I got to. It is what it is.
I think it's because situations like these when I try to digest media from other countries and like different cultures is one of the things where I have to realize like this is not really made for me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's suited to a certain audience, and I feel like maybe in Japanese culture it's more common for these kind of things to happen because I have seen it multiple times in different media and manga and anime. Not saying I condone anything, but it's just like one of the things where it's like you kind of like get what you get with like that kind of culture. And I think it kind of relates to like real life as well because we also have seen relationships in real life. I don't know if you have, but like where like high schoolers try to date somebody who's like way older than them because they think that guys their age are like immature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that's foreign at all. I think the one good thing about it is with this relationship in particular, it let the mangaka explore a different type of love because I guess in a sense with Kyo and Toru, they weren't childhood friends, but Kyo knew Toru from his childhood. With Yuki and Machi, they were like high school sweethearts. It's like different types of relationships. Well, Haru and Rin, they were like people who really depended on each other. They weren't like childhood. They kind of grew up with each other a little bit, but they really depended on each other. And with Utani and Kureno, it was more that love at first sight type of dynamic. So it's kind of cool that she explored different venues of love within these different ships. So at least Utani and Kureno represent that. But yeah, like you already went over, the dynamic of these two characters is very interesting. I like what Utani was saying throughout this episode because I think it plays into the bigger theme of this episode, which is trying to be. That's why I titled the thumbnail the way it is, being that special someone for someone, because Utani's whole point was she only had a little bit of interaction between herself and Kureno, and she regretted that. She regretted that Akito was the one who was the central part of Kureno's life for forever, however long he lived, 26. But yeah, she wants to be that person. She wants to be at the center of his world. And like I said, that also plays in with other characters, but yeah, we saw Utani's resolve with that, so that was pretty cool.
I really like that moment, because it's like Utani was like she wasn't just mad that it was Akito who was like Kureno's number one. She was so mad. She was kind of mad herself, because she was like, wow, in one day I'm head over heels over this guy, and I have only been a part of his life for like 2 days max that we met, and we have Akito over here who's been with Kureno for like 26 years, and it's like, how do you compete with that? Like, how do you justify your feelings for somebody when the other person has been there a lot longer than them? And I think there's the thing that most people have to go through: love at first sight versus like a love that you already had.
Yeah, and I think you can also kind of tie that into like trying to catch up, because that's another thing. It's more of a stretch, but it also plays into like the last scene that we got of Kyo chasing after Toru. Like there's time that needs to be caught up with Utani and Kureno, because like you said, their interactions was, they probably had like 5 minutes of talking to each other, because they had that moment when they talked when Utani was working, and then they had the moment when they went out to eat, and even that conversation was very brief, so they didn't have a lot of time with each other. So it's all about Utani making that impression on Kureno that's going to stick.
But yeah, it's funny too, because like after that meeting, like after that meeting with Kureno, that first one, Utani was like she was just so giddy about him. Like she's like, I hope he comes in the next day. I hope he comes in. I see him visit him another time. It's just crazy seeing Utani, who's always been like this kind of like not stoic person, but very reserved about her love life, like be more girly and be like that way.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I guess that also plays into the theme of, I think, the bigger theme of this episode, which is moving on. And I think that's actually a theme just within the show itself, not just this episode or this season. But when I look at a character like Ayame, like just goes to show you how early this theme was set in, who the first time we saw him, we didn't really know his backstory too well, but the first thing he did when we saw him was he tried to be a better, bigger brother to Yuki. And we didn't know exactly why, but obviously when he talked to Toru, he gave us the whole backstory. And it's the fact that he made a lot of mistakes in his past, neglecting Yuki when he needed it the most, and he wanted to catch up for that lost time. And he wanted to be a better person. So he had to move on from a lot of the regret in his past and be a better person. And in the same way with Kureno in particular, he's been sheltered for all his life. He has been the cage bird for a majority of the series. And now for the first time, he gets to do what he wants. So he has to move on from Akito the same way Akito has to move on from him and not use Kureno as a crutch. So that goes to more characters, which we'll talk about, but I like that it was explored with Kureno. We got the student council.
Oh yeah, we can talk about. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, because it's just one weird scene in there. It's when Kakeru says that he knows Toru's in the hospital, and then Yuki's kind of like, wait, how did you know that? And then he says, one of the kids in his class told him. But I'm like, who is he talking about? Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you believe that Utani and Hana are the type of people to like just say that?
No, I don't think so either. But we also got to think about like because Yuki even knew about Toru's mom, and like he knew about Toru's mom like dying, even though he was never friends with Toru or Utani or Hana. So probably one of the things where it just kind of like got around somehow.
but I feel like because with Yuki knowing that, we don't know how much time it took for him to learn about that. Because with the Kakeru thing, it's like this is only days after Toru's been in the hospital, and I just don't feel I don't know who could have told him that, because like that's the point. That's the problem. He said directly he learned it from a classmate, but how did the classmate know? I don't know. And who was the classmate?
Yeah, that's kind of weird too. Maybe maybe teachers talking. You know how gossip go around school. Like you think it's secure, but somebody overhear you, and it's because I feel like one of the things was like if somebody like Toru go miss for a few days, it's like okay, summing up. Yeah, and then probably like, the teacher knew it, and just get passed around somehow. But I can see how you see that's like a weird scene.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's impossible to come across that information. It's very easy, but I'm just interested to know like what student told him about that. But I guess it really doesn't matter too much. I'll read a little bit of the chat. Everything Animated said, what a final episode it was. So Darius in the chat said, yo, QRW6, my boy, said, hey, Satsuki and Perry, there was a lot of developments in this episode out somewhere, so I'll listen to the rest later. Appreciate you stopping by and dropping that comment.
Appreciate it.
EA said, Utani said she'd wait for him. She means waiting for it to be legal. Hint, hint, LOL. I mean, shoot, they already in the talking phase, so it is what it is. Kenny said hello. What is up, Kenny? And Light just dropped monkey emoji. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay.
Yes.
It was all with the student council and their antics. I really like Kimi. And one of the reasons I like Kimi is she says a lot of the things that's on people's mind or like what the audience wants to know. Mm-hmm. And because of the character she is, she can just say it outright. There doesn't need to be any hesitation or anything, because Kimi's a troll and she's a very she's okay. Kimi speaks her mind and whatnot, so she was able just to ask straight up what was the relationship between Yuki and Toru. And I'm pretty sure that's something that everybody wanted to know. And we know that Kakeru he definitely wanted to know. We saw that in season 2. And it's something that Machi probably wanted to know as well, but she's probably didn't have the courage to bring it up. But yeah, I like that Kimi is used as the vessel to say what the audience wants to know, or what characters within the show wants to know. I like how she's unapologetically like honest about everything. She's like, "Oh, what do you mean by mom? That's kind of weird." Yeah. And like I can just tell Bachi in the background, like fake cleaning up the book, just like hear like open up, trying to hear what's going on. It's like they know what we doing. What we doing, Yuki? Let me know. Yeah, Machi definitely was faking. She kept looking over her shoulder, like, "What the fuck y'all talking about?"
Yeah.
She'll probably ask Yuki about that directly now. Because she, like I said, she's probably curious about it, but she hasn't asked Yuki about that directly, and I think that would be a sign of her character that has changed. The fact that she wouldn't be so reserved as to ask Yuki something like that, and it'll also show a little jealousy that'll add on to their that'll add some brownie points to relationship. So that'll be cool to see. And then now it's just in the back end anger. I really like Now. I learned that Now isn't a fan favorited character. Like, people don't really care about Now. But I just like Now because he's the person who always wants people to get back on track. But he also derails things unknowingly because he just gets so heated at everybody that like he gets in the mix of things too. Like he acts like he's not in it, but he really is once he gets angry.
Hey man, Kimi's like a tornado of chaos, man. Everybody gets sucked up in it.
Oh yeah, Kimi and Kakeru they too much. They're way too much.
Oh my god, I feel like I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for Now because he just got to deal with those two monsters.
Yeah, you got two trolls. You got I mean, when Yuki first started, like he didn't really know how to lead, and then you have Machi who was just breaking shit left and right
for no reason.
Man, pray for Now. I mean, things are better for him now, but man, pray for Now when he first started.
It's so funny too because it's like what you say it's like Kakeru and Kimu, and you got Yuki who's like has now's like love interest hearts, and he really was down bad in the student council.
Yeah, feel bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a little, but we got Akito talking to Hana and Utani. Did you like that we got that confrontation, or did you expect more from it?
I feel like I wanted more, but I'm satisfied with what we got because at least they talked, you know.
Mm-hmm.
At least they talked, and I really like the moment where Hana like because like they know they know Toru, and if Toru says it's nothing big, they like okay, it's probably not as big as we thought it is, and I also like how Hana was able to see like I can tell you're a girl, and then that kind of like opened up like everybody was shocked. Like Utani was shocked, and Akito was shocked that somebody was able to tell like just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it I think it also alleviated Utani because she didn't really understand why Kureno couldn't pursue their relationship. She didn't understand that, but I think now seeing that Akito was that person that he was sticking around for, I think that eased her mind a little, knowing that okay, this is the person he stayed for. He wasn't just putting me off just because he didn't like me or anything like that. It was for someone else at the very least, and I get to meet face to face with them. So I think that cleared her mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's better knowing like what you're up against than like fighting an imaginary figure, because at least that way you could see like what you're up against instead of just like giving yourself like the worst matchup.
I wonder if Utani looked at Akito and was like, bro, this is my competition. Oh, I got that shit. Like if Utani was talking shit like that in her mind, I'll be like, yeah, she go.
Oh man,
low key.
I don't know.
Haru in the same way was kind of flexing on Yuki when he was talking about
man,
Rain.
Haru, that's my guy.
He was low key flexing.
Yeah, he said my girl got bigger boobs now.
Yeah, he probably
he was just flexing.
Yeah, he was probably like, I seen Machi. I seen Machi. I seen you kind of thirsting over Toru early on. They ain't fucking with Green though. I don't know. That's all I got to say.
You I got right here, man. Right here. You see that? All that.
Yeah, it's like Haru got the Beyonce of the series. So I mean, I understand the flexing. I get it.
Yeah. He said, I had that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm putting work for that. He said, you heard Megan Thee Stallion? It's a real stallion.
Yeah, for real. So Darius said, like, just weird. And I love Kyo and Yuki conversation, and Yuki confronts his dad. I think that's, we'll get there. We'll get there very soon.
Yeah.
Sue FC said Kyo had to deal with Utani and Hana jabs, while Yuki has to deal with Kimi and Kakeru. Yeah, for sure. You always have to deal with Utani and Hana when it comes to Toru. They did this in season 1 where it's kind of like when they showed up to Shigure's house, it's kind of like they were the mom and dad giving them blessings, like giving Toru's hand to Kyo and Yuki. They were kind of like, okay, we're gonna entrust her with you guys. We trust you enough. So like those two people are always going to stand in front of you when it comes to getting through to Toru. Even if you don't see them the first day, you're going to see them eventually. You got to talk to them. That's just how it is.
Yeah, man, you got to check in, man. You got to check in.
Yeah, ain't nothing sweet when you deal with Toru. She might be sweet, but she got some savages running around her.
You know what's crazy is like I feel bad for any poor soul who hurts Toru. I feel bad for them. Like, oh my, you got to deal with Hana and Utani. Oh my god, that's a body bag. That's a body bag, man.
Just with Utani alone, because she will definitely get back into a gang member bag and do whatever it takes. Come with the metal pipe and bust your ass. And then when you throw in Hana, that's just overkill. Hanajima is overkill.
He gonna kill you. So like,
for real.
Oh my god, it's just. Man,
I always think about to that scene when I talked about it when Hana went to Shigure's house, she said after spending the night there, she told Yuki and Kyo, I'm glad that y'all good people, because if y'all weren't, I would have had to do something. Like, she straight up threatened, and they was like, damn, I kind of believe her. Like,
yeah, and it's funny because the only people really like know about it is Toru and Utani. Because a lot of people think it's just other people like they know about it, but they don't really know about it.
Yeah. And then you gotta think, it's Yuki and Kyo who are shook. These are martial artists, legit martial artists, like who can break apart the house with ease, and they still are terrified of Hanajima. Like, that's not the person you want to mess with.
It is not. You telling me the golf girls was putting people in the hospital? Her? Oh, that's her friend. Oh, I'm good.
With ease.
Yeah. And that's when she was a kid. Like, she's an adult now. Oh, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
The next part I want to go to is Shigure. This is a brief thing. Shigure an asshole, man. We already knew this.
Oh, yeah.
When he said, he was like, yeah, Toru's being released. Damn, I wonder what we should ask her to cook. I'm like, bro, like, you can't be this pathetic. You a grown ass man. Learn how to cook. Dog, you cannot rely on a high schooler to feed you, man. Come on, bro.
Hey, man, in his defense, Toru did spoil them. She spoiled them, man. She got kilos with these guys, man. Like he said, with Toru being here, man, we got even worse.
It's so. I'm like, bro, you can't be a grown ass man. Not like Toru got to teach them. Don't cook for them no more. Just straight up teach them how to cook, because like, what you gonna do when Toru? Like, Toru not gonna live at the Shigure estate forever. What you gonna do when Akito inevitably has to move out or something like that, because based on the bet she made with Rain, she isn't supposed to stay at the Soma estate. So if Akito moves in with Shigure and then eventually Kyo, Yuki and Toru move out, what you gonna do then? Y'all niggas just gonna order takeout every day? Is Akito gonna be cool with that? Because you going from steaks to fucking takeout.
Oodles and noodles, man.
Oodles and noodles.
Look, she's feeling what the outside really about.
I kind of want to see that now. Like, Akito kind of living a lot more humbly, and she has to eat humbly too. Because I'm pretty sure, being the head of the Somas, she probably just ate whatever. I mean, they still got money, so she can do that.
Yeah, but I can't wait to see like her living with Shigure, like seeing what he really like. Oh my god, I fell in love with this guy right here.
Yeah,
Shigure.
Yeah, that's true. Because if they did move in with each other, she would see a different side of him that she never seen before, because they've never like lived together, and that's a whole completely different thing.
Oh yeah. Look, being friends tonight is cool, but living with them, like dealing with their antics all 24/7, oh, that's something different. Yeah. That's something different. Getting a roommate, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That is different. One thing I would have mentioned is like I like in this episode, like how Sugar was like was waiting on Toru to come back and go get back in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Ayame when he first appeared and he was slapping the desk.
Yeah.
Like, all right, maid woman, let's get that food.
Yeah, he said, let chop, let's go. Okay, let's see.
Yeah,
it's such a, like, all right, that's a tired gender role. Everybody, men and women should know how to cook. But it was just funny because like it fit Ayame, because he's like, he sees himself as royalty. He has this inflated ego. So it wasn't really even a gender thing. It was just like, yo, like somebody gonna serve me up, dog. I'm not doing it myself. Shout out to Ayame, man.
I think it was more funny too, because I think before that happens, Yuki was like, "Don't treat her like a maid woman." He said, "You're right," and he immediately said, "All right, chop, let's get it."
I think all he changed was like
man.
I think all he changed when Yuki was like, "Yo, hey, she ain't no maid," was like he was just like, "Please," like he just added like a please. Or something.
Ayame, he's funny, man. He's a very fresh air. You would have thought Ayame was like the head of the song, was how he act.
Yeah,
he just don't care.
He got the swag. He got the presence.
Yeah.
How did Haru get in their house, dog?
Oh, because Shigure he's not an adult, man. That man left the doors open. He left the doors open.
The funny part is
said,
he just like the funny part is just Haru even going there in the first place with nobody there. That's the funny part about it. Usually you call in, you check in, you make sure someone there. He just be showing up.
Yeah, he said we order. He said, "What are you ordering, man? Pizza? I got the menu right here. Yeah. Hey, can I get nuggets?" Because he know he ain't paying for it.
Yeah, the broke nigga who asked for the wings. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a fact, Satsuki. Yeah, we order wings. Order wings. What?
Yeah, nigga. No. You got wing money?
Yeah.
Sue FC said, "I love that Kyo can cook, but will only cook for Toru, not the other two." Yeah, and I respect that about Kyo. It's like, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and slave in the kitchen for y'all. Y'all are two grown men. Y'all better learn some survival skills for yourselves, because Yuki and Shigure both can't cook, can't clean. Like, nigga, y'all can't just be looking pretty and like learn some survival skills. Come on, now.
Hey man, Sue FC. It seems like this kind of kind of sexist. If you ask me, he's cooking for Toru, but not Yuki and Shigure. Kyo's a sexist, confirmed.
Hey,
stroke my beard.
I'm only cooking for the one I want. I'm not trying to date them two.
I don't know, man. He do admire Yuki.
Oh my god, we're not gonna do that. They probably got like a doge into that. Not interested.
Oh, after this episode, I can just imagine.
EA said Akito changed a lot. She's going to destroy the cage for Kyo. Also, Kyo's dad is a bitch. Yeah, we'll get to those two.
Yeah, we'll get that.
But let's get into one of the bigger moments in the episode, and that's the conversation between Kyo and Yuki.
All right, before we get there, can we keep talking about how like Kyo thought he was slick, trying to sneak in upstairs, thought he was gonna make a peep?
Oh yeah. You know, he kind of slid. He slid in like You remember how Smokey went into Craig's house like through the little window? And like Craig pointed the gun at him like, what you trying to do?
Yeah.
And he tried to slide in there like nobody was gonna notice. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just pack my shit up and go." Nah, bro, what you doing?
It's funny because too, Yuki was like, Kyo's been through a lot, man, emotionally and physically, but I don't give a damn. Yeah. I don't care where he at. He said, I don't give a damn. He said, where he at.
Yeah, he needs that too, because the thing I always say about Kyo is he runs away from his problems. He tries not to face it, and he always needs that person to hold him responsible. In I guess in his early days, I guess that person for him was Kazuma. And then it kind of shifted to Toru, but in this moment it needed to be Yuki, because I don't think anybody else has that relationship with Kyo to give him the talk that Yuki did, and I think it works because of their admiration for each other. And the way Kyo was talking about wanting to be like Yuki and Yuki saying the same thing, they're both like jealous of each other. That goes all the way, and it, like I say this all the time because that's how Fruits Basket is. It is a well-constructed story. It goes back to one of the most iconic moments in the series, and that's when Toru talks about the plum on everybody's back. She says that everybody has a plum on their back that, you know, they have all these good qualities that they don't notice themselves. That's why it's on their back. Other people can see it. Other people get jealous of it, but they don't realize what's on their own back. And, you know, that explains away the jealousy that these two characters feel towards each other. They both want to be like each other, but they don't realize their own good qualities. In particular, Kyo, because he's blaming himself about what happened to Toru, and Yuki's trying to tell him, you're the person that makes Toru happy. You're like the sun in her life. I can't do the same things that you can when it comes to Toru. You have to take responsibility and own up to that.
Yeah, I really love that moment because it kind of like, because I don't think Yuki and Kyo had actually had like a real like serious conversation before, except for this moment. Because like usually it's always like, you know, it's always comedic. Yuki beats Kyo and just walks away, but now this is a moment where like they actually sit down and correct like how you really feel about each other. And I think it can't, you was right. You definitely right when it said it hits harder when it's come from someone you admire. Like Yuki was the only one I feel who can get to Kyo at that moment.
Yeah.
because when a person you admire is telling you something, like you like, oh man, he's right.
Yeah,
and it's just the fact like each other like it's like one of the things was like he's just like me. Moments.
Yeah, it's just they just both are insecure about themselves, and they just don't. It's like the same way. Oh my god! Wait, am I still on? Wait, you can still hear me?
Me, like, yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Yo, I'm having like a shortage. Like my power just went, like my monitor just clicked off for a second. I was like, wait, did this whole thing just shut down? If something happens, Perry, you got to carry for a little bit, and I might have to like switch switch my computer just in case.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because I had a little shortage, but I think I should be good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The stream looking good for everybody. I was just saying the stream looking good for everybody in the chat. Is we still going? I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Let us know if things are good, because on my end, I had a little technical difficulties. Let us know, somebody. Just say we good, and we'll continue.
Yeah.
What time does the game come on? What we got?
It's a game on right now. It's the
real?
Yeah. It came at 7:30. It's Atlanta and Philly.
Oh, I gotta catch that. I didn't watch the first game. I gotta catch that game.
Yeah, we went on a podcast. I got it on my TV right now. I'm just watching it. I think it's like 35, 38 Philly.
Okay, and the Clippers.
Okay, he said okay. So there he says it's good. This Clippers come at 10:30, so we'll definitely be done before that.
Okay. So I forgot exactly where I was going, but yeah, I think the whole point is you just don't understand what's good about you until other people confirm that, and especially hard for these two characters because of their backstories and how they were raised. Kyo had a better upbringing when it came to Cosmo coming to his life, but before then, his father, which we'll talk more about, just, oh my God, he made him feel like his existence was a crime almost. And then with Yuki, his mother neglected him, his brother did, and it wasn't until Shigure ended up taking him into his house that he could actually live as an individual. So these are both characters with deep insecurities, and you understand why they would be jealous of the other. And really, it comes from them not knowing the full backstory. I think if there was one thing I wanted more in that conversation, is for them to explain why they were jealous of the other. I think that would have everything.
Yeah, I kind of wish Kyo had like a lot more to say to Yuki, because it kind of felt like I wish there was a little more of a balance, because I feel like Yuki was like controlling the whole conversation. I kind of wanted more of like a balance between like them. I feel like Kyo could have said a lot more to kind of like emphasize that point that like they feel the same about each other.
Yeah,
but I definitely agree. Like their upbringing is like they both had to deal with situations where like they felt smaller than what they actually are. With Kyo, as we get on later into the podcast, you learn that his father kept telling him like he's nothing, he's worthless. All the Zodiacs telling him he's nothing, he's like the black sheep, he's like literally nothing. And with Yuki, on the other hand, you kind of get that moment where like he gets sold off he basically sold off to Akito to be her little plaything for most of his life, and then Akito basically tells him, "You're nothing. Like I'm a god, and you have nothing. Your parents didn't want you, your brother didn't want you, and like that abandonment causes both these characters to just feel like, okay, I'm not nothing, but like that guy across the street, I want to be like him because he must have it good."
Yeah,
and it's one of the things where like people don't know your story until you actually tell them. And one thing, it's funny because it reminds me of J. Cole song, like no one's life is better than yours, because you never know what the struggle they have to go through to get what they have to get to.
Yeah, you just never know what another person is going through. Even when they say it, you still don't feel what they've been feeling, and you can only get like people have this. They have this confusion when you look at somebody's life. You cannot really be in someone's shoes, honestly, because you're just getting snapshots of their life. You only know like unless you're with someone with every minute of their life, you're only getting a snippet of what their life is, and then you're kind of making an assumption of who they are or what type of life they led. And the reason why the confusion came in with Kyo to Yuki is because he's looking at him like, this is the rat zodiac. Everybody treats him like he's special. The maids have talked about how like the rat zodiac has that special connection to the head of the soma. So he's looking at it like, okay, because I know this bit of information about Yuki, I'm gonna assume that everything must have been right for him and everything was perfect. We know that's not the case. With Yuki, he sees it where Kyo is so easily makes friends. He's very sociable. He'll be reserved at first, but he can open up to people and make friends the way that Yuki could never do, because he never had that personality, that magnetic personality that Kyo has. So he'll look at Kyo and think, well, damn, the way he makes friends, like that's something I always wanted. So damn, I wish I had that, but it doesn't come with the other baggage in his life, and they both don't see that.
Yeah, and it's even more crazy to think when you think about like think about this. Yuki never had a real his own friends until like he joined the student council. That's when he came, like, got his own friend group. Kyo was kind of like first day out making friends like that. Like he had a nickname for everything. Like he was actually had like friends, and that episode really showed like Yuki's insecurities about that and Kyo's insecurities about Yuki. And in this episode, it's just like everything built up for like the first 2 seasons just coming to head of these characters finally talking to each other's.
Yeah, and I think what you said about it was right. It's not. It's like I won't say the first time, because I think the other time they had a conversation was like towards the end of season 2, when they were talking on the staircase at school. But even then, that was more so of like Kyo wasn't really receptive in that conversation. He was very adverse to what Yuki was saying. But in this situation, it seemed like they were on equal footing, and they were able to get out their feelings properly without it being an argument. I mean, they literally fought, but this time it felt like their words came across, like it didn't fall on deaf ears for the first time. We got a little Kisa and Hiro. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little, but they had a little moment.
Yeah, I had a little moment when Kisa was basically telling Hiro she's very happy that he was the first, like she was the first zodiac that he told about her curse breaking, and it kind of goes into the fact that like what's left with the like it kind of asks a great question about like how important the curse is to like people's perspective of zodiacs, because like Hero problem was like, I'm no longer a zodiac, will Kisa still like me? And Kisa's thing was like, okay, you no longer have the spirit inside you, do you think I'm a monster now? And it's and like that question is something that we never really thought about when we thought about breaking a curse. We all thought like, okay, breaking a curse, cool, you're a regular person now, you're good. But it's like, okay, what about everybody else though? What the people who do curses don't break? And it brings a different perspective of that.
Yeah, it's titled a curse for a reason, but the one thing, like, even though it's a curse, it's a commonality between all these characters, and it binds them together. So it gives them this sense of like family, almost camaraderie, where it's like I'm going through these hardships, but this person to the side of me who's also a zodiac also feels this. This other person also feels this. So even though it's something that they all strive to break, I would assume, it at the very least what it does, as bad as it is it brings them together. So when you have this imbalance where somebody has the curse broken but the other person still has it, there may be some misunderstandings between those characters, like you already went over. I think the funny part about that is the fact that now, before Hiro and Kisa could hug and nothing would happen, but now if they did it, Kisa would transform, so he can't do that anymore until her curse breaks.
Oh yeah, true. That you're right. I just realized that they don't get as close as they used to be now. Yeah. And I think it's another thing that's funny about it, because I could see some kind of resentment from other zodiacs be like, okay, why did his curse break? Why did my curse break?
True.
And then like somebody telling you like I don't, like somebody saying like I don't know, it just happened. Like that could get people like what you mean you don't know how it happened?
Yeah, do
like,
the Jordan
like,
shrug.
Like if you want to situation where it's like, Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, no, sure.
raggy. Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like think about how many people's relationships were destroyed because they were zodiacs. How many trials tribulations they had to go to, and you just realize like randomly a zodiac curse breaks. They don't know how
Yeah,
because like with some zodiacs curse affects them a lot more than others.
yeah, for sure. I think the more you're connected to the outside world and more people you talk to, I think it affects you a little more. With Hattori,
Yeah,
it like it affects him, but because he's kind of refined at the Soma estate, being at the Soma's doctor, I think it affects him less than, let's say, someone like someone like Kyo, because I think Kyo, it really affects him because of his backstory, how the cat zodiac, and it's really specific with the cat zodiac, but I think in general it hurts him because he's still in school, so he has a lot of he has a lot of opportunity to be hugged by the opposite gender. So it's more so like the people who are out in civilization with a lot of other people, it affects them a lot more than some of the people who are staying in the Soma estate.
yeah. Because I feel like Ayame would definitely love the curse to be broken. I could just see him being a hugger, like a hugger
Oh yeah,
type.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I could see that with the Yame. I don't know
I feel
though.
like people agree to like.
Mine might slap a bitch though if Ayame tried
Oh,
that.
you yeah, you right.
I feel like Mine got Ayame on a leash. I ain't gonna lie.
Figuratively or if, literally, probably both.
Probably
In a
both.
relationship. Yeah,
I can't
he's a snake.
I can't see Mine playing that.
Oh no, I mean they definitely nah, definitely they definitely not trying to play. You gonna get on who? Who the other who? Nah, me ain't gonna play about that.
Sedaris said yes.
But it's crazy though.
What's up?
Oh, that was just, you go ahead and read it. And I'll ask my question later. Go ahead.
Okay. Rexor said the tiger here. 9 out of 10 episode would have been 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for Kureno. All right. What were you gonna say, Perry?
Oh, like, do you think all the curses are gonna be broken? Like the next 3 episodes,
It might
or do you,
not.
some people just gonna live with it?
It might not be. We might not see them. And
Uh,
it like it may be a time there. I feel like it will be a time skip. So maybe then we'll know all the curses broke. But yeah, now it doesn't even seem like the curses breaking will be like us seeing the curses breaking will be important anymore. Honestly, don't see it being important. At least not with all individual characters, because it's kind of like you would understand what the effect of that curse breaking would be, and I don't think we need it for every single character. Like there, of course, there are key characters like Kyo, Yuki. I think those are more meaningful than, let's say, Ritsu or someone like Kagura, for example. So I don't think we'll see all the curses break, but they might be broken by the end of the series, because I do believe there will be a big time skip or something like that.
damn, I drew up something. Like if the episode when Haru's curse broke, like we thought Haru's curse was the one up in a break. If it's broke, he wouldn't be able to carry Ring.
True, that is very true.
Something I thought about.
Somebody asked me on Twitter. This has got nothing to do with the episode, but they were asking me how Shigure and Rain had sex. They were, because with Rain not being a zodiac, they were like, how was that possible? And I was like, they probably just did it in a way where they didn't embrace, because even like Fruits Basket is a little weird with the hugging thing, just because in the first episode, when Toru made Kyo transform, that wasn't really a hug to me. She kind of just bumped into him. So they were weird about that, but whatever. I could just say they did it without embracing. But I don't know. That's a funny thing to think about, because it kind of poses the question, like Hattori and Kana, like, do you think those two characters had sex, or was it just like, I don't know, they just kept it to kissing or something?
Wait. Wait, come on, man. We know how Shigure and Rain had sex. It's doggy style, man.
Oh my
Come
god!
on, man. We know that.
I can't. I ran into that. I can't lie. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I had made the
that's
joke.
a while though. Like, yeah.
I had made the joke. I was like, "Hey, bro, maybe Shigure did transform, but then Rain was like, okay, it's cool. That's cool." Rain kind of a freak, so I could see that.
Yeah.
EA said, "How will you see when a man and a woman love each other?" Also, Yeah. That's
very.
Yeah, EA. That's the point I was trying to get at with him. But I think he didn't like the fact that. I guess it was an aspect of the curse that he wanted to affect them more deeply. But I think it affects them in other areas to the point where it still weighs on you either way. Because I think just not being able to have that type of intimate relationship, because it's still an intimate part of a relationship. I mean, it's not everything, but it's a part of it. And then, like, think about it. Like, think about if you meet in-laws or something like that. You can't hug them or anything. If they're normal people and they don't know about the curse, you can't hug them. And they're kind of going to be like, "Huh? What's wrong with this nigga? Huh?"
Yeah, I feel like you keep your, especially with a curse, you keep your head on a swivel. Because like younger members might run up to you, just hug you out of nowhere without you noticing. Like Yuki was cool with like Yuki after that first time. He said, "All right, no more." Every time you try to hug him, push it down, get off me, be gone, thought.
Hit him with the the Derrick Henry stiff arm. Oh my god!
put in the dirt.
Yeah,
get off me.
But that was a little off topic. But I think the other big part of the episode, it's two more parts I guess we could talk about. But the other big part was Kyo and his father. What did you think about that reunion of characters? Because I think the last time they talked might have been when he was a kid. I don't think they talked any other time.
I thought he talked when he... No. He was talking to
Kazuma.
No. Yeah. Yeah, might be. That man, he did the race. That moment was great. I liked how like before like when Yuki talked to him and Kyo was like, "All right, I'll see Toru. Before I see Toru, there's someone else I gotta see. I gotta do something first." And I like that he decided, like, just like you were saying earlier, Kyo is somebody who always ran away from his problem, but this time where he actually ran towards the problem and like able to confront the demon that he had to deal with his father, and just seeing like how bad his father is. Like his father was scared of Kyo. Like he walked in, like, "What you doing here? You get out of here! What's wrong with you? Who let him in here?"
I just gotta like, I cannot tell with him because I could see it in both ways. I can't tell if he was acting that shook because he just wanted Kyo to be locked up and he just resented him that much, or if he was being genuine with his fear. I could not tell which one. I could see it either way. Because like I said, I feel like if he was acting that way, he could kind of get people on his side to rally against Kyo and get him locked up. Or I could see him being genuinely scared of what Kyo could do to him. Because I was like, it's a little too much. It was like, I was like, all right, bro. Like, this is like LeBron in 2011 levels of flopping when he grabbed him by his wrist lightly, and then he said, "Oh, he's gonna kill me! Oh no!
He said, "Please help!" He said, "Get the head, get Akito, get somebody in here."
Bro. I was like, "No, he's just grabbing your wrist. He's not gripping that motherfucker. He's just grabbing your wrist, like, bro, like, don't touch me." That's it. Like, he folded. Oh my god.
Like so fast, like oh my god, I want to kill that, like the moment where like you see, like it happened a lot of that manga and anime where you see somebody who's like always tormenting you. And you see how bad they really are. Like, man, he's just pathetic, man. You're not worth my time.
Is that, yeah,
he was just scared shitless.
You get the same type of vibes, like what I related to is when you get the big bads, like someone like Frieza, where they are all powerful and they realize someone is like more powerful than them, and they just like spaz out. That's kind of like what it was. Like he was, he's been talking all this shit about Kyo for all these years, and then when he gets confronted by Kyo, oh, he bitched up. Man. Let's read what Rexor said. Kyo father dead because whoa, Rexor. I need you to proofread this.
English, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Aspect better. Caused his mom to commit suicide. Also, if Kyo turned into his true, he could easily kill any normal human. His father fear him. His father's fear is real, in my opinion. Yeah. That, like I said, I could see it in both ways. But I feel like it. I don't even because to me, it wouldn't matter about the transformation, you know, because this nigga is a martial artist, and his father should know that. Just because of who Cosma is, like everybody know who Cosma is. So like,
I'd be scared if I was Kyo's dad, cause like you thinking about your son that you basically like gave up abandoned on is training in the dojo.
Mm-hmm.
You be thinking, oh, he trying to kick my ass. Oh, he trying to run that fade. He trying to run that fade.
Shit, I would take like Kyo in middle school. I think would whoop his ass because his father looked malnourished. That nigga look, he got the bony cheeks. Nah, that nigga look weak as hell.
Hey man, he was drinking off that Henny. He was like, nigga, it's like 9 a.m. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's true. He came in, knocked over the bottles. That's another thing I want to talk about. His whole room, you see like nothing but albums, bruh. I want to know what this nigga was listening to.
Hey man, he was listening to the Chronic, man.
Tupac's greatest hits.
Yeah, but no, that's funny because like his room remind me of like my uncle's like basement, just music everywhere, vinyls, speaker right there, just chill like a chill room.
Yeah, like the room looked nice.
Yeah,
and you know what's so ironic about that is, based on what we know about him, we know that Kyo's father is getting money because of Kyo. Because he's a Zodiac and it's that Soma money. So he's getting money from Kyo and he probably furnished that room and put all this stuff around him because of the money he's making out for Kyo. But he still resents him and wants him to be locked up. But to be honest, we know he said he wasn't working. Nigga lied and said he was on vacation. But he's keeping up his lifestyle because of Kyo, but he resents him. Like this nigga is the biggest asshole in the series.
Yeah, man, he collecting a free check.
Yeah, you getting a whole check off your son, and he's keeping you alive. He is feeding you. He is putting food in your mouth. Cause he hasn't done nothing in all these years, nigga. It's been a decade plus. Get a girl. Like we understand that you sad. We understand like how much Kyo's mom's suicide affected him, but. I mean, we learned in this episode he has culpability in that too.
Yeah, no, it's so crazy too because it's like it was like two episodes ago we talked about like the whole like I'll never forgive you and stuff like that, leave and all that stuff, and we always thought it was just Kyo like mom making that up, which was right, but it was just his dad like word ringing through his mind from way back in when, and it's crazy.
Yeah, he kind of instilled that same. I forgot what it's called exactly, but it's just like deflection. It's like Kyo's father deflected the hatred that he had because Kyo was born as possessed by the cat spirit. He deflected that onto the mother, and I don't think the mother hated Kyo at first, but it kind of seeped into her mind to where she also started to blame Kyo, and that led to her suicide. But again, like the main person to start all of that is Kyo's father, because he said in the episode, I think he said, I never want to see you two again.
Yeah, you and her. I was like, oh, you just said fuck both of them, right?
Yeah, because he blamed her for birthing Kyo as if she was like, put the Zodiac spirit in my pussy. Like, she didn't ask for that. Kyo didn't ask for that.
Yeah,
nobody did. Stop being an asshole. Rexor said he was listening to Rod Wave, just depression. Yeah, he's
heart being broke so many times.
He probably had like a Takeover album in there too. I could see it.
Yeah, man. He had that Marvin room playing.
Oh, bumping that bitch.
Yeah.
He also said like, do you two just enjoy disgracing me? And I think like that's the whole thing with it. He's seen the fact that he was the father of someone who was possessed by the cat zodiac as a disgrace, and that's pretty much all you. That's all you need to know about him. That's why
I kind of
go ahead.
I kind of wish we got a little bit more because I wanted more because I thought it would be something where like, why couldn't you have been like any other zodiac, like the rat? Like if you've been a rat, I got more money. Like I wish it would have been like a more monetary like reaction for him to get a zodiac because it would have hit a lot more if you ask me.
Okay, I see where you're going. Yeah, but man, we don't acknowledge. We call him Kyo's dad, but that's just in title. We know who Kyo's real dad is. That's Cosma, top father in the series. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing, you know. And the thing about Kyo, what showed his growth, was the fact that he had this conference. Like him having this talk with his father is enough for me. That would have already been enough because, given his backstory, most people would not want to talk to that dude. But I think it was more of Kyo confronting the demons, not only in his life, but confronting his own demons. And that was just, this is like a passage of that. But the other tale that showed his growth was the fact that he said, I'll visit again. Like,
oh, yeah. Like, that's one thing about like, because like, I will say it again, man. Kyo always ran away, but this time he faced his biggest hurdle straight on, heads up, without running away. And I respect that hell of a lot. Because it takes a lot of courage to do that. Most people I know would not want to do that. Like confront an abuser or somebody in their life that has hurt them or has told them they're worthless for a whole lot of time. Most people would say, man, forget it. Forget you. No, he walked up to him and talked to him, man, just like a man.
Yeah. And, you know, saying I'll visit again, it's not a one-time occurrence. He's going to... Yeah. He might even be able to change the dude. Who knows? If Akito got her redemption... Who knows what could happen with his father? Not to say that needs to happen or anything, but Kyo's ready to face it all. And like I said, that shows his growth throughout the series because that's not something he's willing to like leave it be. He's actually trying to invoke some change now. So shout out to Kyo for that. Think that clears up that. One of the last things within the episode was the conversation between Akito and old hag, maid Sama, whatever you want to call her, Akira Dick Rider,
Joe Budden too. Yeah, get off my lawn, man.
Oh, bro, I don't like her, man. I don't like her at all. I
don't like her either.
I think what kills me about her is the fact that there's a lot of bad. Like Rain is she has a bad personality. There's a lot of characters in Fruits Basket that have a bad personality, but I always feel like I can understand why they have it. And I guess I could sort of see the maid's point, but I think what kills it for me is like she doesn't need to be involved with this if she doesn't want to. This stuff, like what's going on with the Somas, doesn't necessarily affect her daily life. She just inserts herself into and makes it a point that she has to be the one to talk. Like, nigga, get out of here. You're whack. I don't care about your backstory. Go. Leave, please. I hate her.
But I ain't gonna lie. To play devil advocate, I kind of like this episode kind of like shed a little bit light into her kind of thing, and like she's kind of like how Toru and Akito was. They was like driven by their past, and she was one of the people who was like, this is the way it's always been, and it's not like I you want me to change now just off a drop of a hat? I can't. This is who I was. This is I was 25 years ago, 40 years ago. I built this. Like, I've been here
brick by
brick. I've seen things happen. Yeah, brick by brick, man. That's what she was, man. And like Franklin in the car, I built this shit brick by brick. Ain't no cat, no rat, no bat, no nothing gonna tell me otherwise.
I get that, man. Like, I get the insight with the character, but I swear I was looking at it like I don't give a fuck. I was like, I don't care, dog. I was like, it's kind of too late to make me care about this random maid. Yeah. I was sitting there like, bro, you still don't got no fucking name. I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah. Nah, I killed when Akito said, well, you stay here, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I was cool with it. Dap him up like, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, she like, you don't want no... She like... Akito like, bro, they giving out character progression to everybody in this season, nigga. You don't want this shit? I'll fuck it. I'll take it.
Yeah. I keep trying to give a car, huh? Let me talk to my therapist. Her name is Toru Honda.
Yeah. Got on speed now.
Yeah.
Oh man. The maid of truth, she's the head maid. It does affect their daily life. They tend to the somas every day. Also, it has always been like that since she was a kid, and unlike our main character, she has no agency. This is what I mean why it doesn't affect her daily life. When it comes to her daily life, the person she has to tend to the most is Akito. Akito's personality, yes, that affects her life. But when I'm talking about specifically are the relationships of these characters and how she tries to steer Akito in a certain direction. She tried to give herself more work by saying, "Hey, should I listen and actually lock Kyo up?" Like, what? Why are you asking that? Like, if Akito was the one who ordered that, okay, that's one thing. But she is inserting herself and trying to give advice to Akito to stay the same person that she was. Like, you would think that she sees Akito changing and she would try to promote her growth, but instead she's actually being a reminder of who Akito was and trying to like keep her down. And I don't like that about her. And like I said, I think with Akito's personality, that affects her daily life, but not everything that goes on with their relationships. She's kind of like out of it when it comes to the story.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me like those old people who be like, I don't like change no matter what it is. Like I get like she literally like old people like would be like, all right, this is how it was 50 years ago. Will be the same way 50 own years ago. You're like, what about change? Ain't no change. We're gonna keep it how it was.
Yeah, get out of here, old bitch. You whack. Fucker. Yeah, I don't really care about the maid too much, but I understand her role in the story. It was played well. Hopefully we don't got to see it no more. I want to see Akito and Rain. I need that conversation just so Rain can say, I told you. Oh,
she gonna be dancing. She gonna be dancing. She said, "Ooh, pack your bags." So we throwing that yoink, yoink.
Oh my god,
bro! She gonna be you met SpongeBob when it was like the SpongeBob movie when he was yelling like,
yeah. Yelling in her face. Oh man, yeah. I need that, bro. And the thing is, like, I like Akito much more than Rain, so it's not really that. But I just I just want to see how Akito deals with Rain being in their face about like, bro, I told your ass from day one what was gonna happen. Like, what you gonna do now? I want to see her puff her chest out, bro. And I also want to see like where they take Rain's character, because we only have a couple of more episodes left. And I think the theme of we talked about moving on, but in moving on, there are also going to be people who stay the same, which that's not necessarily bad unless you're already in the bad situation, which I think Rain is the perfect example of that. She is someone that needs to move on, but the question is, will she within these last 3 episodes?
Like, it's one thing that we're like, okay, you had all this hate for Akito, but like, what happens next? Like, where do you go from here?
Yeah, I don't know where she goes. It seems like her whole thing was what she wanted to be like the head of the Somas, and she really wanted to get Akito out. But once that happens, what's next? What do you do after that? Do you just stay bitter and cling on to the memory of Akira and hold on to that vase that was the box that was holding him in, or you know what? Shiguri's not going to stay with you, so
she might be in a. Okay, I wonder, is Akito going to like kind of like a similar like Kyo did, or like confront like Rain and kind of like have a real conversation with her? Maybe try to get past this and kind of like fulfill Akira's last wish.
Yeah, that would be nice to see. The whole question is Rain going to be receptive of it? From where her character stands at now, I don't believe she would be. Like I said, that seems to be the theme with a lot of these characters. It seems like Kyo's dad is still in the same place he was before, years prior. It seems like the maid is, and I believe that Rain will also be in that in the same boat. But what Fruits Basket is doing is it's leaving things up for those characters to change even in their older ages, because these are all characters that are 40 plus, I believe, and it's still giving them an opportunity, because like I said with Kyo's dad, Kyo's already said that he will visit other times, so he'll have his chances to change. With Akito leaving and saying that she's going to move on, that kind of gives the question of how would the maid receive those words? Would those words weigh down on her? Would she try to change too? And then with the conversation that we're expecting between Rain and Akito, after Akito leaves and whatnot, what is Rain going to think about? You won, but now what? What are you going to do now? What's next in your what's the next chapter in your life?
Man, this kind of happened earlier in the episode. It's kind of wild. It's like Akito said, "Yeah, I stabbed Kureno," and they was not shocked or like nervous at all. They had a real reaction to that.
Yeah, that's
I'd have been like, "Oh my god, you stabbed Kureno? Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's the one thing I wanted more. I wanted there to be a more visceral reaction to those words, because I'm not saying I wanted Utani and Hana to throw hands with Akito, but I wanted there to be more of a shock or something from them, and it seemed neutral, as if they already knew it, which that shouldn't have been the case, because I don't even know that Utani knew that Kureno was in a hospital. I think she learned it in that moment.
It's even more crazy because like, okay, so this girl and Toru had like a little moment, and then like Toru fell, and then you like this girl stabbed Kureno too. Like you'd be like, wait, what? You looking at her different?
Yeah. So, yeah, things are a little weird on certain sides. I wonder how our opinions would change if we got some information that I think is missing from the anime, as opposed to the manga. But these are questions I won't be answered until we actually finish it, because I'm not going to find out myself. But
yeah,
I think that's pretty much it. What's up?
One moment, but before that, it's kind of weird to like. Do you think Akito got off easy?
Yes, but I think that's intentional.
Okay. I think she got off like, oh my, like easy, like
for sure. She
a
did
a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of wild. Well, my last thing was like, it was like the very end of the episode. We got Machi calling Yuki, and then Yuki running to Machi.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Good to you.
No. I was just saying you're right. I forgot to even mention that. You can go on.
Okay. Yeah. So at the very end, we got Yuki looking at his phone, and then like I feel like we kind of already knew who it was.
Mm-hmm.
Based on like how bright eyed he got it. He's like, Machi, it's like, I'm here, and he didn't say, all right, he's just like, I'm on my way. He said, wait, what? Yeah, I'm on my way. He ran.
Yeah, it's like he got the text, like it's like he got the text that Machi said, my parents not home. That nigga said,
oh yeah,
bad.
Yuki said, oh, well, say less.
He started booking it. Didn't even close the door.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because Kyo was running to Toru, and then Toru see Kyo, looked at him, left, looked right,
oh,
dash.
I cannot believe I almost forgot to mention that, bro. Toru's speed feats, nigga. When she seen Kyo, she was out of there. She damn near went out the frame within a second. I said, yo, Toru got speed feats for real.
She was gone, and then Kyo was talking about like, I'm fast, y'all catch up to you, and I look at the distance. You might not be catching the big fella, because she was gone.
Bro, she yoinked it out of there, fresh out the hospital, nigga.
Yeah, and she had a little still bandage on her arm too. So
yeah, niggas talking about how KD came off his injury. No, Toru coming out this injury, running a full flat, disgusting.
That was funny, man.
Yandere Shiki said, "What's left?" Big shout out to Kenny, donated $19.99. Said,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. He said, thinking of doing podcasts for any other series. Yes, the Ox and Rat podcast isn't going to stop with just Fruits Basket. We're probably going to take a break next season, so you probably won't get any podcasts of any series. We had to get together and think about doing another series, but it's not going to stop with just Fruits Basket.
Yeah.
Plan to do another series, but we just had to get together and think what's a series we like mutually that we both want to get into. So, yeah. Sedaria said, Kyo and Yuki, go get y'all girls. And Rexor said, Akito thinks she got off easy. Yeah. Yeah. I want to talk more about that. I think that was the whole point that Akito was supposed to get off easy, because it gives her this guilt. Like, Akito wants to be punished. She wants to face retribution for the things she's done, but nobody will give her that. Utani's not, Hana's not, which I think they should have, but they didn't. Toru and Kureno did it. We knew they weren't going to do it because of who they are, but it gives her a chance to reflect on her own character and do things differently, because you're not getting the usual thing where someone's just yelling at you or like beating you up when nobody says anything to you. Like, let's say if somebody like cut me off and I didn't know it, I didn't know why. That would give me the chance to look at myself and think, damn, like, where did I go wrong? Like, how did I fuck up? It gives you the chance to reflect on yourself and deal with a lot of your internal demons and whatnot. So I think the fact that she got off easy was supposed to be the point, so that she can actually look into herself and figure out where does she go from that point on.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of split on that, because on one hand, I feel like her getting off easy, it kind of just reestablished like what she's been doing, like pushing Rin off, doing a whole bunch of bad stuff and getting off easy without no kind of retribution to it. But on the other hand, I feel like this time it's kind of different, because she kind of feels regret about these moments. So now she has to like sit with it and live with it for a lot longer than what she obviously did before. So I'm kind of like tossed up between them.
I think that the other issue too is the reason why I think it works is just because the characters that's involved with it currently. If it was characters like Rin and Haru, for example, I don't think she would get off easy. I think.
Oh no, she did. Oh no, that's a body. That's a body. Haru already. No lie. We already seen what happened when she got recognition for that one, and she didn't want that no more. She's like, oh shit.
Light flash on eyes.
Yeah, she's like, this will being treated like a regular person is. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the steaks and caviar.
Yeah,
that shit is not getting your ass beat. Is not fun. Trust me.
She was getting a full throttle punch and he broke the pillar too. Oh my god, he was gonna kill her. Yeah, shit. That was the stuff.
Akito did not want that. It's just like what Momiji said last episode. Akito was lucky that the people she was involved with when it came to like the hurt she brought and hospitalizing them. Well, not Toru really, but she still did cut Toru. She's lucky that the two people she was involved with in that were quote unquote idiots. They are people who would forgive her and not really look to condemn her. But yeah, she got lucky. If it was other people, I don't think she would have got off that easy.
Yeah. Oh, last thing. This is like for like last 3 episodes. Do you think we will see Akito in like a dress or like any more feminine clothes?
That's so funny that you say that, because I thought about that too. Because I feel like if we were to see that, it would be a symbol of her branching off from her mother, because we know the reason why she dressed masculine in the first place is because her mother wanted her to be a boy or be treated like a man. So I think if she were to dress more feminine, not to say that it has to happen, you can dress however you want, but I think that would be a little show that that would actually be a physical manifestation of her change, that she's kind of like, I'm forget what my mother wants, I'm just going to do what I want. And like I like you don't have to dress feminine to be looked at as a woman, but
yeah,
I think, like I said, that would just be symbolic of her like coming out to the people and be like, yo, I'm a girl. You don't got to treat me like a man anymore.
Yeah, and going by what you're saying about like you don't have to dress feminine to be treated as feminine. It's also another thing that like it's also her choice. Like this would be one of the one things where she actually have a choice in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be good for her as well.
That would be cool to see. I don't know if that's going to happen. But like I said, that would be a good show. So I would appreciate it. So I would like to see it happen, but I don't know for sure if it will happen. I mean, maybe that will happen when when Akito and Rain get their talk, which I am anticipating. But is there anything you want to talk about, Perry? Because I think that is it for me.
Oh yeah, I think that's everything.
All right, people. I want to thank everybody who showed up. Rexor, Sedarius, Kenny, appreciate the donation once again. Yandere Shiki. I think I already said Sedarius, but I'll say it again. Sedarius. My boy EA, everything animated. Sue FC, Light Ruler showed up. QRW6, my boy. Grunt Edits. I think I got everybody. Yeah, appreciate everybody showing up. We'll be here next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the 11th episode, the next week, the 12th, then the final one, 13th, and we might have some guests there, plural guests. We'll see. But guys, that is it for the Ox and